Hello. It is a Tuesday afternoon. I should be at work. But it appears the universe decided that we do other things this afternoon. So basically the internet went down at work, and the idea of spending it in an atmosphere with a couple of people who I'd rather not spend any time with, and not really having the advantage of doing actual work, I made an executive decision and I've left for the day. And as I've been watching Steve Judd, he was talking the past day that we had an exceptionally long void moon, with the recommendation of not really trying to do anything too arduous or, sorry, I've got a coffee. It's not the posh one, it's just one I've got at home. Not doing anything yesterday, watching it, and then today using this as a way of, I think the moon's moved into Aries, so it's a time to get very productive and do something. So there was two things that I wanted to do. One of them was to go through the archetypal card reading that I had done with Hogarth from Hogarth's Global Astrology channel. If you don't already check him out, usually he does a really good show on a Wednesday night now, with Lena Rodriguez, Lady G and Sheila. If you do want to catch it, I'll put the link up to the show. He also does shows usually Friday and a Sunday. So, I've had a couple of readings with him, always very good. Now, I've got all the details, but I think it's going to be a bit intricate. Oh, I can't get the words out today. It's going to be a bit detailed, we'll put it that way. So I'm going to sit down. I've got my reading back, but what I want to do is I want to compare it to the one that I had last year, because I think for you guys it would probably be interesting to see how it's changed and how it works. So anyway, one of my friends, Faith, she made a very good comment the other week about would I sit down and go through one of the card decks or some of the card decks, show the cards that are actually in there, and possibly do a little bit of a decipher of what they mean. So I'm going to use the Citadel deck. Now this is by, is it Fen Inkwright, or is that the publisher? Basically, these have been amazing for some of the readings that I've done, if you want to go back and have a look through. I really like them, and I think this will be a fun video. Now, it may be that I get through all of them. It may well that I get halfway through and I just go, enough, because that's how I'm feeling today. I'm just going to roll with it. So, right, let's get on with it, shall we? So, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to see if I can bring this down a bit more now. I don't know. This could be a little bit awkward. Let's see. Gonna have to take my glasses off. So, no, in no particular order, we're just going to go for that. So the first card that's come out is the Hunter. So, meaning on this one is sure-footedness and predestination. So, the thing with a Hunter card for me would be, this is us hunting for our goals. This is us looking for our destination, which is something that came up in a conversation I had last night. it can be, you know, heading and finally getting to the solution that we've been looking for. So I'm going to keep them quite brief. I'll put a couple out and then we'll just keep on going. So the next one is the astronomer. So again, discovery and augury. So beautiful card again. Astronomers obviously study the planets, the makeup of the planets, the density of the planets. They investigate, they look. You know, they are the ones that will be sitting there watching and observing and seeing what new planets are going to be there. Usually it's a sign of intelligence, I would say, because you have to be very astute and clued up to know what's going on. I think, again, it's a card that will indicate that you're going to have a major breakthrough. That, again, it could be that you're on the right path or you're finding your path. Okay, so let's just do this. Ooh, that's another one. The champion. Okay, I've not seen this one before. Achievement, downfall. So, I'm assuming that it depends on which way it comes out. So, the champion card, it's a card of success, really, isn't it? It's achieving your desired outcome. With downfall, maybe it's a case of indicating who's going to come out on top. There's always several competitors. Usually there'll only be one winner. So it's either or. So again, it will depend on the reading as to how you would interpret the overall card. So, next card, the scholar. Investigation, research. Again, these are all coming out quite similar at the moment. Again, it's about doing your research, doing your homework, putting in the hours. Again, investigating and planning. I would also say that you know what your end goal is to be and how to get there. The sleeper. There you go. I'm not sure if that's coming out. Might have to angle that. There's sleeper. Bear with us. I think it might be the sun's a little bit too strong today. I thought I'd had it blocked off. There we go, that's better. There we go. I'm dropping the blind, There we go. There we go. I need to hold it up there. Oh, hello. We've got a wobble going on. Do apologise. So cause and effect, clarity. So I think, again, this can be when you go to sleep. Your dreams can sometimes provide clarity on situations, but also it's when your body rests, that your body recuperates, that you suddenly become more aware, or when you wake, you're going to be more alert as to what you need to do. Okay. The Acolyte, which again is a card that's come out on a couple of readings. New projects and learning. So basically, again, I would say this would be new directions, looking at opening and looking at a new subject to learn, taking a different perspective even would be this. So, you know, if you're having issues and what you're trying to do doesn't work, maybe it's time to learn and try a different path. So, right, okay, there we go. Oh, the miser. Ooh. So, stubbornness and inflexibility. Well, I think it speaks for itself, the miser. The miser wants to control everything. They hold on to their wealth. I mean, they can be very astute with that. But again, sometimes you have to be able to spend a bit to enjoy it. So again, it could be whether you're so focused on money that you're forgetting about opportunities in life, that you need to be more open and flexible in your approach. Okay, right, so those are those ones there. What we'll do, actually let's see if we can just stick them in there for a second. Right, we're doing okay. So, the priest. Reverence and faith. Now, it's quite interesting that I've had the priest card come out before, but I think with it, it's also a case of... maybe I'll try and just do that for a second. I'll do it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So, with the faith priest card, it's about having belief and following your heart, having the clarity of thought. It can also be, with it being a priest card, being stepping up and being a leader in some respects, being open to looking at your faith and what it really represents. Okay, the Sentinel. I love this card. Okay, so determination and certainty. Now, again, the thing with it is obviously it's a shield on this card. So the Sentinel is about being a guard. So it's, I think as well, it's being able to defend yourselves, probably the wrong word, but it's about defending your goals, having your determination, being able to deflect negativity from you. Also, where it says certainty, if it's a question about jobs, direction, obviously it could be a good indicator of your path is going to be well protected and you're going to get there. So, the Catalyst, radical changes, taking control. So again, it could be, if you're asking about a job, I would say that it might be that your path is going to take a dramatic turn. That if you're given the opportunity to do something, for once, to go with it. What else would we say? I think it's also the ability to take a situation and change it to the result that you want to get. Ooh, lovely. Right, then we got the foundation, the founder card, Foundations Community. So, again, it's, you know, without good foundations, you're not going to have a solid building. So, again, it's about whatever you're going to take on, make sure that you have the right infrastructure in place, the right people around you, that if you feel you're standing on dodgy ground, that it might be time to reassess how you're going to build, and do you move to a new ground that's more stable for you. Okay, the Patron. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Mentorship, finances. So again, it could be that you're going to have someone come into your life that's going to be able to guide you. We all need a mentor. And also finances. It could be that, financial responsibility, getting financial guidance. That sometimes we need to speak to someone else to actually understand or get the direction we need. Okay, there we go. Right, so, the Hound, bit of a bloodlust one, that one. Loyalty, chains and promises. So again, it could be in terms of loyalty. Who's loyal to you? Have you put your loyalty in a misguided place? Promises. It could be that, the hound could be the one that bites, not the one that defends. So watching what you're chained to, who you're loyal to, and the promises that are made. I would say in regards to it, it also could work in regard to other cards that come out. So if it was like the Miser, maybe it's a case of you're doing a lot of hard work, but you're not getting a financial reward because you're loyal to your boss, but has he got your best interests at heart? That's a generalisation, obviously. Right, so let's keep going. Let's see how far we get through. Wow, this is one thing I love about these decks, is the imagery is just beautiful. The Botanist, Parenthood Legacy. Again, it could be, I would say I've not had anyone ask, but it could be to do with, having children, your children, your history within your family. The card itself is got beautiful flowers on it, and I think again it starts with whatever you grow. If you have the best parenthood or your best roots, then you are going to have that kind of return. I think it's also a card that shows that hard work is going to pay off and you're going to reap the rewards. Better have some more coffee in the meantime. Oh, it's probably a good thing I didn't put the microphone on. You'd be hearing me gurgle. Right, the Archer card. Okay, so biding your time, planning ahead. Now, I've said before, with archery is about not just picking up a bow and arrow, sticking an arrow on it and then letting fling and seeing where it lands. It's a very technical sport. So you have to weigh the bow properly, you have to hope that the arrow's balanced properly. You have to work out and gauge wind speed. Is that going to affect the flight of the arrow? The poundage of the bow that you're going to use? Aiming, and you don't always aim straight ahead. Sometimes you have to adjust your aim to actually hit the target. So again, it's where it's saying biding your times, planning ahead. Obviously, it's if you've got a goal and you want to make sure you get there, you have to do due diligence and put the effort in to get there. Okay. The Alchemist. Balance, invention, and destruction. So the thing with the Alchemist was that this was the guy who was supposed to be able to turn lead into gold. Kings across Europe would take you under their patronage if you could prove that you could do this, or you said you could. But it's about the balance of the ingredients that you're going to be using. It's about creating something new out of something that you may not have thought was going to work. So it could be you're on a path that you know, the job doesn't seem to be going anywhere, but all of a sudden that job could open up and be something that's life-changing for you. It could also be the fact that, obviously, the destruction bit, if you... it could be that you're going to have to let go of something, that you're realising that the path ahead isn't going to work, that maybe your job's not as secure as you think. But again, with the alchemist, I would say there's always a good possibility that that's indicating that where it is a pretty, let's say, shite situation, it's possible that you're going to have a cloud with a silver lining or a gold lining. The Waker. So, awareness, reflection. Now, where is it? I'm just going to find that card for a second. Which one are you? Nope. Let's just see. Eeny, meeny, miny. There we are. So I find it quite interesting, to be honest, now going through it, that obviously we've got two... You've got the sleeper and you've got the waker. So realistically, I've now realised that this is the reflection of light and dark. So again, the shadow work could be also the shadow side of what you need to look at. Oh, I've screwed these up now. But anyway, onto the waker. So awareness, reflection. So again, it's where we suddenly wake up to reality, where we realise that looking back and reflecting on what has happened, that we are going to come to a different reality, a different view, and it's also about being open to that. Okay, so we got the captain. Now that's come out in a couple of readings. Taking command, teamwork. So again, you know, the captain is at the helm of the ship. It was their job to guide the ship through storms, but realistically, a good captain can only be as good as the crew around them. So again, it could be that you're being asked to take a step up, that you need to look at the teamwork involved. Maybe you need a different crew. Yeah, I think that'll do. Oh, I love this. Spy Master. So, knowledge and distrust. So, I'm gonna out on a limb. I think it's going to be a raven. Well, it could be a crow. Probably a raven. I'd say it's a raven because ravens are, well, both of them. They're very clever. So, again, this could be, if you're asking about a situation where you're feeling like you're being deceived, that you might be that you already know the knowledge, that it's confirming not to trust the people involved. It could also be telling you that you need to trust your instinct. Use the knowledge you've got to move forward. So, the tailor. Now, I'm just wondering. I wasn't going to do this, I was just going to read the cards as they were. But there's a reason why I want to do this, and this is because it did come out in a reading. We are doing pretty well though, we're getting through them. There we go, that's the one I want. Okay, I wasn't going to do this. I mean, as I said, I've done it with the sleeper and the waker just because the imagery is obviously a reflection of each other. So that was doing light and dark. Now, the reason I'm doing these two together is if you've watched one of my previous readings, this was about my situation at work. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to read the Weaver first, because the Weaver is rediscovery and transition. Now, the other thing with it is a weaver. We take thread and we create create a cloth. So it's also about what you do with your knowledge. What are you creating? And how you're going to create that. But again, if this was to come out in a reading like it did, the other thing is that we have the tailor card, so it's attention to detail, pride. Now, again, the thing with it, the reason I pulled these out is without the cloth, the tailor can't create anything. So, you know, in the reading that I had, the weaver came out, which was identifying as me, which was saying that because of the cloth that I was creating, I was giving the tailor, i.e. bitch and snitch at work, I was giving them the opportunity to create the drama that they wanted. But let's take it away from that. It could also be that this is an indication of you are going to create something worthwhile, or you're on the right path, but you need to step back and have a little bit of a adjustment. So maybe the pattern just isn't right at the moment, because obviously unless you use the right pieces in the right place in the fabric, whatever you can, you know, it won't work, is basically the way to do it. Pride as well is obviously, I think with dressmaking, having done it myself, there is a certain amount of pride in the fact that you're going to be able to create something, but at the same time it's the realization that you can't be too proud until the creation is finished. So, you know, just step back slightly, don't be overconfident at this time. Concentrate on what you're doing. I love this one. Never seen this one before. This would be about right for me at the moment. The Brawler, lack of empathy, confrontation. Yeah, probably. Don't even know. It's got Latin on it. I could look it up later, maybe. So, it's going to be something to do with boxing, because obviously the person is taping their hands. So it could be that you're always looking for a fight, which is what I'm being told. That you feel like maybe you're being too meek, and that you may have to confront or look at the possibilities that you're being led astray. Sometimes we do need to be able to defend ourselves, and some things may need to have a fight to get the result that we want. The Dancer. So, self-expression and strength. Again, it's a very creative card. It might be, again, of we need to be more open in our communication, to use the strength that we sometimes forget. You know, it's again a card of, you know, we all dance the dance of life, really, but it's how we dance it. Is it going to be a jig? Is it going to be a Siege of Venice kind of dance, which is usually deadly? If you're not Irish, look it up, it's hilarious. Is it going to be ballet? It's about how we want to... I'd say it's quite an eloquent card as well. It's about poise. I would say it's... What am I trying to say? It's about balance as well. It's about finding a happy balance between strength and emotion, even. Ooh, the Chiromancer. Okay. Delivering news. Collaboration. I'm loving that card with the palmistry and the star signs. So, basically, again, it probably indicate that you're about to get a message in regards to the question. It could be that someone's going to walk in and that collaboration is going to move you forward. Okay. Ooh, the vengeance. Nice. So, overcoming slights, a choice. Now, again, this could be, are we putting too much time into trying to get the result we won't get? Are we looking to put someone down? Are we making the right choice? Is it a case of we step away or we ignore the insults that are being sent our way? Okay. Right, so then we got the Herald. So, small regrets, longing. The Herald was always kind of, well, the Herald is kind of like announcement of news. This, I think, is more to do with kind of like that maybe we're moving too fast. Maybe we have moved away from something that realistically deserved another look. It could be partnerships that have fallen by the wayside. It's where things probably haven't gone our way. So, then we've got the Thief. That's come out before. Seizing the moment, selfishness. So basically, what does a thief do? Thief managed to pickpocket, steal, deceive. Seizing the moment, it seems to be, you know, maybe it's an opportunity that you see that someone else doesn't. Maybe it's a case of someone's been underhanded and tried to con you out or something, but you may come out with the upper hand. Again, it could be a case of, are you holding on to everything too tight that you need to open up and share it with others? Okay. I've got the Shepherd card. So, celebration and family. So the shepherd always keeps an eye on the flock. They're always, in some ways, the protector. That they keep everyone safe. Again, that it might probably indicate happy families, that everyone is in the same group, everyone's protected. It could be that you're the shepherd of the family. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop for now. I think half an hour of these is enough. So what I'll do is I'll see if later on I can do the rest, or I might do the rest tomorrow. Again, I think this is one of a truly beautiful deck to use. And as I said, the readings that I've done have been pretty spectacular. And again, to Faith, thank you for the idea. Because to be honest with you, I think it's actually, as I said, it's kind of like with some of these cards where there's obviously a link between them. Obviously, I wouldn't have noticed that unless you had made the suggestion of reading the whole deck and just giving you an idea. So I'm going to leave it there. As I said, what I will do is we've got, I think, we're probably over halfway there, so the second video mightn't be as long, but hopefully it's been enjoyable. If you want me to use the deck for you, obviously leave a message. I'm happy to do a reading. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.